Hi everyone, welcome along, welcome back to Nigel's Modelling Bench. I'm Nige. Merry Christmas everyone, it's 1st December now, so we must remember to say that. You won't see lots of decorations up in my man cave like you have to do with Paul. I'm not a Scrooge, I'm not against Christmas, I'm not anti-religion or anything. I will exchange gifts, I will have a Christmas drink, but I don't really decorate my house, I don't bother. So I do have a load of decorations in the loft. I haven't had them out for probably 10 years. So there you can see. There you see what I'm doing. Right. If you've been watching my videos lately, you'll know I've done some videos on the Dora railgun, or railway gun, should I say, in 35th, 72nd and 144th scale. And you'll also know, if you've seen those videos, that I've said I'm going to do some corrections for you, to show you the errors in the kit and how to correct them, or what I think you should do to correct them. Doing that as one video is going to be a nightmare, and I've also realised I haven't really done any sprue reviews. I'm sure you guys want to see some close-up shots of certain parts of the kit, so what I'm going to do is start here with a sprue review of this one. This is the 144th, okay, and then directly after this I'll follow up with a video on how to correct the certain issues with this kit, starting from the ground up. And then I'll do another video on the 72nd scale, then I'll do another video on the 35th scale. And I also want to show you the references I've been using. So without further ado, I'll get on with this one. If you're bored, fed up with hearing my voice, don't want to hear me waffling on, whatever, if you just want the simple summary at the end, I'll give you that now. If you're restricted for size and you don't have much room and cost is an issue, this kit is the smallest of the three, obviously. It's also the cheapest. It's available at eModels, £50. But it's not the nicest kit. But if you don't have much room and you want a railway gun, for the Dora railway gun, this is your only option. If you have a bit more room and a bit more cash to spend, there's the 72nd scale kit from Hobby Boss, which is slightly larger. It's going to be a metre long when built, depending what you do with the barrel. You can have it, nearly vertical, or you can have it out in front. So obviously if you have it nearly vertical, the whole model will be shorter. Then you've got the 35th scale. Now, if money's not an object, I have heard this kit is coming back out. Somebody's commented on one of my videos, and it's over $1,000 apparently. It's not worth that. They're still available for sort of £400, £500, £600, I think, if you look around. So yeah, but as an overall kit, money no object, size no object, you might want to get the 35th scale Dora. But hang on, if you want the most accurate, most pleasant build that's going to go together the easiest, I would say by far the Hobby Boss is the best value for money. It's beautifully packaged, it's beautifully moulded, it's the most accurate. It's not accurate 100%, but it's the most accurate, and it does build into a beautiful size model. But if you've got a 35th scale diorama, you're going to get a 35th scale, aren't you? If you're an idiot like me, you're going to get all three. Pff, nutter. So anyway, I'll get this camera turned off now and get onto the bench, and I'll give you a quick sprue review of this 144 scale kit from Soar Art. Okay, so start off by looking at the instructions quickly. I know we've already went through this very, very quickly when I did the Black Friday thing. So basically, it's a glossy magazine. It's sort of a magazine style booklet, all the way through. Photograph of the actual model on the front, and some words here around what it's actually done, so you can have a look at that and freeze it if you want to. So going into the book, because it is a book, it's giving us basically photographs here. This is like old workshop manuals from the 40s and 50s. Photographs of the actual parts that are in the kit on their sprues, all clearly numbered, so you don't need a magnifying glass to see them. All and all very, very nicely laid out. And as you can see with many kits like this, you see you've got many, many sprues copied over the same. You'll see that some of the parts in here I've removed from the sprues because like one or two were hanging off anyway. It comes packaged in one bag inside a bubble wrap bag. If you want to see how it's packaged, look back at my Black Friday review thing, and you'll see it on there. So starting off, we got the rail car assembly, putting the wheels onto the axles, adding the axles, and then putting the sides on. Adding the structure to the end, we got the buffers there and the end plate going on. And as you can see, being 1/44 scale, it all looks a little bit chunky. These steps are very thick. So that's they're called the bogies. And then we've got here, these are called the subordinates. So they're being all assembled, inner and outer. Then we've got an outer walkway going on with a railing. And then we've got this mechanism here, which is basically goes on the inside of both of the subordinates. This train would have, the gun would have been brought on one of these with 2 rail cars at each end, and then it would go along a single track, and these brackets would be bolted to the sides, and then the 2 of them would be brought next to each other, and then these brackets would be brought together, clamped to make it into a double width gun, as you know, as you see it. Here we are putting the parts together to add the 2 halves of the 2 subordinates together. So we've got the walkways up the inside and the railings, which is nice. Ladders up the side here. More of the parts here, which actually go to hold it all together. Can't remember now what these are, but they can't remember. And then these are called the subcarriers, and this one's even showing the sprue attachment point. Look. So we've got the railings going onto them, and then they're going onto the rail cars. All very simple, and then the subordinates go onto the subcarriers. It's all engineered so you can't go wrong. There's all different shaped holes and pegs on these things, so they only go in one sort of rail car, and then they only go into one way into here. So that's all pretty clever. Putting this plate in here, which I believe is the gun is sort of click 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 click, ratchets into place, if you like. Not ratcheting, but sort of, I don't really know how to explain it. It's like a hexagonal hole with probably more teeth than a hexagon, and it kind of clicks around. Then we've got the breech here. This is the recoil mechanism down here. Not sure if that's going to be movable. I guess if you don't glue it in, it will be. Barrel going into the breech, and then fitting the main gun mounts on. And then this is the rear structure now for the loaders, and you've got the engine room here. Exhaust pipes on the bottom. This would have this engine was for powering the winch and everything that winched the all the armament up into the back of the back of it. These the shells this thing fired were 7,000 kilograms each, which I believe is each one is about the payload of a B-17. So yeah, wow. So yeah, there's the rear loading platform going on there. Here we've got the cranes, winches, and the platforms that get lifted up with the shells on them. Adding the more steps in the back. Shells going on to the carriers. This is the charge. These are the shell. So the charge is there, shells there. Going on the back. There's no winch detailer. Yeah, the winches are here, the pulleys, but there's no rope or anything. So I guess you could just add some easy line or whatever to make that look a bit more authentic. And there we have it. And on the back we've got our health and safety notifications. Don't fire this at children. Don't play with it in the bath. And there's your paint call outs here. But I don't understand. Hang on a second. They're giving you paint call outs here, but I can't see any actual colour guide in the instructions. So maybe there is one of mine's missing. I don't know. And then here you can buy individual sprues by the look of it. That's quite interesting. I wish everyone did that. So yeah, so there you go. So that's the instructions. Let's have a quick look through the sprues. And here we've got the railing sprue. It's all pretty nicely moulded. There's not much flash. In fact, there's no flash at all really. These ladders don't quite look right. They look a bit narrow if you ask me. Here's that part that goes in with to make the gun click up and down. And you can see here there's some very, very fine moulding here. It's extremely fine. And when it was boxed, this came with a piece of polystyrene, if you remember it, in a cardboard wedge. Here we've got the rail cars. 10 axles per rail car, and all the wheels. If you want to know about all this, watch my corrections video. They're wrong. Then these are the brake mechanisms. Obviously it's all very simple because of the scale and the size of it. This one here, we've got the breech here, which is looks like it's slide molded, which is nice. And then we've got one of the, this is a loading trolley with I don't know what they are. There must be some sort of cylinders that push the shell in. Here's another loading trolley. These are the tops of the rail cars. Again, these are wrong, they shouldn't be planked. And then we've got the lift up going up the back with the footsteps on the side that people would run up to get to the top. Here's the inner side of one of the subordinates here. This is the, if you see some marks on it, it's because it's all been washed. This was all quite oily. In fact, it still feels oily now, so it may just be the plastic. So you've got the detail here with the jacks and everything. This thing, a lot of people didn't know this, but it actually sat, hydraulic jacks went down, and the whole base of the actual gun sat on frames in between the rails when it was firing. It didn't actually fire when it was sat on its wheels. Probably would have shattered the tracks. This is the walkway around the engine house at the back. Sorry, that's around the engine house. This is in the loading area. The engine house goes underneath. There's the sliding breech there. Got some pulley parts there by the look of it. And then here we've got the outer side of the subordinate. You can see with all the detail with the wheels and everything on there and the pipework. It's all very simple, but in this scale there's no way you've got it all in. Framework for the rear loading area that sits on the back, like so. Part of the recoil mechanism there. There's a loading piston there. There's the charge, the chute that the shell goes down. Yeah, it's all quite good. Portion of the rail track there. A little bit suspect about the width of the sleepers coming out this far, and also the fact that they join in the middle, but they've got no joiner. Photographs I've seen, they don't actually meet, but I've also seen them when they do meet, there is actually a bolted in joiner in there. So that's interesting. Here's the breech. Again, this was broken off the sprue. And then the breech, obviously the barrel goes into the breech, so there you go. There's the size of it in 144 scale. You can see it's quite large. Here are the side mountings for the breech, or for the gun. They sit on the top. You can see they're quite detailed with all the pipework and bits and pieces on. It'll all come up lovely with a bit of a dry brush. Just don't look at it too closely because the detail is quite soft. And it's part of the recoil mechanism again. And then we got this sprue here. Again, this one, the one with the wheels on, you get 4 of, and this one you get 2 of. And this is some more walkways. And then we've got the lines there that the loading trolleys would have gone in. This is part of the support that goes between the two subordinates. We've got some more railings there. Again, very, very finely moulded on the ends, damaged there, but not to worry, that'll all pull back. And some more railings there. So that's that. That is the Soar Art 1/144th scale Dora railway gun. So thanks for watching. If you've liked this video, please like, subscribe and hit that notifications bell. I'll be back very, very soon with a correction view now on all of these 3 kits. An inbox review of the 172nd and 135th may well be attached to the corrections video, I don't know. So keep your eyes open, there's lots more coming, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.